All right, people, we're on live. Joel Benjamin 528, MC Spookism. We're going to get into Mercury retrograde a bit. First things first, anybody out there, I want to know how you did your fast. Some people, they might have last long. Some people probably even last half the day. So, anybody out there, if you're not tuning in live after the broadcast, you just type, let me know exactly what went down with your fast. Are you still on it? Are you still looking to do it? Basically, how's it going for you? Let me see something here. Let me see something here. So I could see the people comments or questions. All right, I see sci-fi is in. All right, now this Mercury retrograde is something that is real difficult because, quite frankly, I want to choose my words carefully when I'm explaining this. When you're dealing with Mercury retrograde, okay, let's just start with the do's and the don'ts. When you're dealing with Mercury retrograde, start with the don't. Don't really try to argue with nobody. It's stuff from the past happened and they didn't get at you. At that point, trust me, it'll come around during Mercury retrograde. So you got to be careful with that. Next thing too, during Mercury retrograde, it messes up communications. So you got to be very careful and mindful of that. Now you might say, how does it mess up communication, brother? All right, I'll give you the breakdown. You might have, let's stick with person to person. You'll tell a person, hey, go to the store, get a coconut water. They go to the store and come back with a Cocorico with high fructose corn syrup in it. And you're like, that's not what I told you. And they arguing with you back and forth. Yes, that's what I heard. You said Cocorico. No, I said coconut water. So stuff like that can happen. Next thing is when you going through Mercury retrograde with communications, remember that it's having to deal with being focused and paying attention as well. So you might be driving, you'll notice a lot of car accidents happen around Mercury retrograde. And this is something that even NASA takes serious. A lot of scientists take this serious because they don't want to send no shuttle up there, no rover, whatever the case is, because they know they need to communicate and give back the signal to them. So being that the simple fact they got to give back the signal to them, it's a problem. And it causes a huge, big problem. So if you got even NASA acknowledging this, next thing, one-on-one communication, signing contracts, big no-no, big no-no. I won't say, you see, there's always an exception to every rule because it could be a big no-no to you, but to other person, it could be good, vice versa. So you have to know if you're doing any deal or any type of contract, you got to make sure that it's really like sealed tight in your favor. I won't ever tell people don't do any contracts during Mercury retrograde for the simple fact is I've done certain contract and had certain meetings and different things during Mercury retrograde, and it worked out for me just fine. But that's because I know what I'm doing. See, again, we all know I have the shop at Nicholas 570 Fulton Street. All right, that's in Brooklyn. Name of it is Nicholas. We sell the Penny Royale there. We sell the hyssop oil there. Now, all that stuff is good for Mercury retrograde, and I could give you a ton of things, but the most things that I find that is very, very good, I'll just show it to you. A lot of people try to look it up and they're not able to find it. I'm so glad I was able to get a hold of this that I'm about to show you. And I got to keep stressing it. We sell it at Nicholas, Brooklyn. So nobody can't say, oh, where do I get it, brother? 570 Fulton Street. Or go on nicholasbrooklyn.com, or just call us, you know. This right here is called conscious agate. Conscious agate. When you have this, it also enhances your dream state. You could put it in water. Yeah, put it in water, put it under your bed and fall asleep. Or you could put it under your pillow, or you could just wear it. Don't carry it around with you in your pocket, but for sleeping purposes, to help the dream state, you could do it like that. Now, let me give you the number where you could call, because I don't want people to say, oh, they didn't know how to get it. We ain't going to do that today. You're just going to call 7800. All right? Funny, every time I start doing live streams, people want to call me. I noticed that. This is my second live stream, and the phone been blowing up. Now, if you notice, it's shaped like an angel. Of course, any crystal, anytime you're dealing with them, once they're shaped or carved in any type of way, automatically they cost more, especially when they're designed and made into jewelry. Conscious agate can help you. Conscious agate can help you through Mercury retrograde. I want everybody get a good look at it. That's the back of it. That's the front. Now, you maybe can't see that it's shimmering on the camera. You probably can, but this stuff works. It helps you great during Mercury retrograde because the frequency that it helps produce, obviously. So scientists that knows about the Mercury retrograde, they're into Mercury retrograde, and refuse certain things. Mercury retrograde. All right, so I gave you a few don'ts. Again, don't really. I know it's gonna be hard. Trust me, I'm an Aries, so I know it's gonna be hard as hell not to get into conflict with anybody. The bickering, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it will happen. It will end up coming up, and you have to just make sure you're on point. You got to keep your head on. Now, again, I said it messes up communications. Now, let's talk about what it does to people's cell phones. You got people that might try to live stream, and when you want to live stream, you don't see a button. I'll tell you what just happened to me during the live stream. I clicked for the live stream, and the live stream went on, but for some reason, the other part, so people could see me, would not load up. So I reset it. Once I reset it, it showed up that I did the live stream already. That's weird. That most likely will happen during Mercury retrograde. You'll tell somebody, meet you here, they meet you elsewhere. You'll notice your phone start acting up. And I don't care if you got an expensive iPhone. I don't care if you got an expensive Android. I don't care what you have. All electronical devices most likely start acting up, because the electromagnetic field Mercury produce when it start going counterclockwise. Now a lot of people say, well, is the planet Mercury itself actually moving backwards? It's very tricky. It's not really moving backwards, although a lot of people say that. But the way how it starts to spin, and with the different alignment as a planet go around, it appears as it's going counterclockwise, retrograde. So be very, very careful of that. But you hear a lot of people talk about Mercury retrograde, but they don't ever talk about Aries retrograde or Saturn retrograde. It's a whole nother topic. You're just focusing mainly on Mercury retrograde. So you got to understand, when the computer start acting up, don't take it up, throw it, fling it into the corner. Please don't do that. You got some people that will do that. You'll be wasting your time doing that. Um, Mercury retrograde. I'm going to tell you, it started August 30th. I believe really August 31st, but let's just stick with that. And it's lasting up until September 22nd of 2016. And now for the people who's doing the fast with me, the 40-day fast, trust me, there is challenges going to come your way. I didn't even realize it was Mercury retrograde around that time of when I made the decision to make the fast. I only come to find out it was going to be Mercury retrograde like the day of Mercury retrograde. And I'm like, oh, damn, I got a fast coming up on the 1st of September. I tell you straight up, I would not commit to doing that fast on September 1st had I realized Mercury was going to be in retrograde. Period. I just wouldn't have done it. Now, I want people to know, stay strong. Don't get weak. All right? Don't get weak. And when I say don't get weak, I'm talking about not if you feel your energy go low and you really need to eat. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people tempting you with food, because yeah, you got idiots that will do that. Come tempting you with food, or you pass by a certain area and the food smells so damn good. All right, so definitely be careful of that. Now, the do's in Mercury retrograde. We already dealt with the don'ts, the sour part of Mercury retrograde. The good part of Mercury retrograde, it can help you get your meditation on. It's, for some reason, it's perfect for that. I still don't know why yet, but I will find out. It's just something when you're dealing with prayers, and notice I said with communications, but for some reason when you say your prayers and you're really doing this through Mercury retrograde or your meditations, you start seeing the things that you're praying for or you're meditating on, which I call prayers and meditation one and the same, but some people will differ with that. But the point is, you'll start seeing certain things start manifesting for you. Um, Before I go now, this live stream ain't gonna be too long. All right, and of course it's gonna be up in the archives as a video. So, if anybody got any questions, they can ask me whatever question they want now. But again, when you're dealing with Mercury retrograde, definitely get into your prayers. Okay? It will work. That is the most major the do's ever. That's something that you really should do. Start getting into your prayer in Mercury retrograde. And next thing you should do when Mercury retrograde is watching. Pay attention to certain people. You'll see a lot of people, they'll show their true colors. they'll start manifesting. All right. However they move, whatever happened, it will start to manifest. Trust me when I tell you this. You know, people that you think was cool with you for the longest, they'll start trying to stab you in the back. I guess it's something about when it's in Mercury retrograde, it brings something out of these people where it's like, it's like, oh, maybe he's weak now. Now is the time to strike. Or maybe she's weak now. Now is the time to strike. You gotta watch out for that during Mercury retrograde. Watch your back. Anything that you feel can't happen might happen. All right. So, and you gotta know whatever spiritual tools to get certain things that help you out. Be around like-minded people that thinks around the same way that you think. That's very important during Mercury retrograde. Because if you're around people that's like that always give you a challenge, confrontation, you and that person will be arguing constantly. Constantly. So you got to be very careful with that because it could lead into people saying the wrong things. Like you got some people who know about Mercury retrograde, they'll come around and they'll be like, "Oh, please forgive me for what I said during Mercury retrograde." But then again, it's like, did you really feel that way? Is that what's really happening? You know, so just be careful during Mercury retrograde. Again, for those who are doing the fast or sticking with the fast, go strong. And that in of itself is a very big challenge, especially being that it's done during Mercury retrograde. All right. So you got to be on point with this type of stuff. And next thing during Mercury retrograde, you might notice your ears start getting clogged. That's like if you're flying, like people who fly um, on the plane, you know, you get that clog. I don't know how much people ever got that feeling. You get that clogged ears. Or when you go up in a high type of altitude, it's like your ears start to clog. And next thing, you'll notice certain orbs. I seen it today. And I know it's also because I'm fasting, so it's raising up that spiritual energy. And certain things I saw today, I was like, oh, wow. All right. I see what's going on. So I'm telling you this because I don't want you to be freaked out. You got people that will get freaked out by this thing, and don't be freaked out. Okay. Because when you start seeing this happen, people tend to run away from it. I'm telling you to embrace it. And when I say embrace it, I ain't say get into no Satan worshiping. I didn't say none of that crap. Let me clear that up now. All right? Because you know, MC Spookism gonna give it to you direct and spooky, like it is. Say those prayers. If you're fasting, stick with your fast. For all those who probably didn't start today, it's okay. Start tomorrow. I don't care if you can only do one day. I don't care if you can only do 2 days. All right? Because it is a 40-day fast. Feel free to jump in at any time in between that 40-day fast. And if people end up tuning into this video and it's an old video, all right, probably a year from now, you tune into this video, you could do the same thing. This is not something that you have to do right now at this time. You know, you got solar eclipse that's happening in Africa, all these places. The time is shifting, and you're going to notice that shift more and more. That's one of the real important reasons of the fast, so you could get a mind state again. And everything happened for a reason. It's no coincidence that it just so happens to be Mercury retrograde at the time when doing the fast. So that'll be a strong test for you. I didn't plan on doing a video or even commenting on Mercury retrograde, but with so much things that's true in the world, and it gets even worse in Mercury retrograde, And then being that I'm doing the fast around Mercury retrograde, that gotta be a sign. All right. So people, Joel Benjamin 528, Joel Benjamin, MC Spookism. That's it. Again, stay on the right path. For people who's on my Twitter and on Instagram, I make sure every morning I put the prayer of the day, basically the psalm of the day. So you just say that psalm and whatever other prayer you do that you add into. It's up to you if you want to say it or not. It's totally up to you. Start saying your mantras. See, I got my shot play here with me. Start saying your mantras. And anytime you feel like you're getting real hostile, because trust me, you are going to be tested this Mercury retrograde. Pull out your chapelet, start saying your mantras, or just say it to yourself in your head, and stuff will turn around. All right? Again, Joel Benjamin, MC Spookism. I'm out. Hope I gave you the information you need to know. Before I go, let me see if anybody got any questions. Nope, nobody got any questions. All right, that means I explained myself pretty damn good. Cool. Y'all have a good night. Again, all praises due to the Most High God, Yahweh, and His Son Yahushua. Peace.